Hello friends, welcome back. In this session, we are going to completely understand clustering opportunities and options with RStudio. So I'm going to talk about the clustering and the options, the various visualization options that are available with R tool towards the clustering. There are two types of clustering that we will look into. We will start with the hierarchical clustering, then we will go on to the next type, the k-means clustering. It will be a little longer session, probably it will take around 15 minutes for us to complete everything, but again it's a very interesting session. So we'll go ahead with the iris data set and we are going to play around with it. So str of iris, as I told you earlier, it will help you in understanding the structure of the data set chosen. So you can understand that we have got 150 observations and 5 variables are there. We have got sepal length, sepal width, petal length and petal width followed by species. So we have got 150 observations of 5 variables and that's what is displayed here, and that's what is very important for us to understand. The str of the dataset name gives you the structure of it. Well, what's there in it, sir? We have got some more things to be understood in it. Now, there is a necessity that we may have to, there is a necessity which may arise that we may have to curate this data set as per our requirement. We may have to remove something, we may have to add something into it. So for that, we are taking a situation like we need to pull out only the 40 records out of this 150 observations and we need to remove the variable species. I don't want the species at all, and out of 150 observations, I want only 40 observations. So how do we go about it? R is very handy in everything. So I am going to type the command that I have already got ready here. I am going to paste it out here. You can see that idx equal to sample of 1 is to DIM iris 1, 40. Now if you see that here 40 is what is specifying that we need only 40 records to be pulled out, and I am assigning it to a new data set. I create a new data set by name iris sample, because the original data set is iris and I cannot edit it by default. So what I do is I copy the content which I edited, which I moved into iris sample, and this is the new data set which we are going to operate on. So what do? We have taken the iris data set, it has got 150 observations and it has got 5 variables out of it, and we have got sepal length, sepal width, petal width and species, and now I do not want the species at all and I want only 40 observations. So for that to happen, I sample it properly by saying that I need only 40 here. So once it is done, I can run it and I could get the result once I print it. I have not printed it, but it is all processed right now. So for printing it, what is the method that we have? Very simple. We can print str of iris sample. So that's a new dataset name that we have got, right? So we can run it. In this, if you see, we have got only 40 observations. Only 40 observations are there, but at the same time, you should see that it is still displaying the content species. Why? Very simple. We need to remove or we need to nullify the species. How do we do that? So iris sample $species is null. So now what I have done is I have nullified the species content. So I have removed the species content. Now when I run it all together, if you see that, I'll have only 40 observations with 4 variables, whereas the species has been removed. That's it. So what did I do? I took the iris data set. I found that there are 150 records with 5 variables. Now I wanted to remove it, curate it a little bit to 40, as well as 4 only is what is my requirement. So I removed the species with nullifying the species stuff here and I displayed it. That's all. This is all preliminary stuff. Now we are going to play around with the content that we have to learn. That is nothing but the hierarchical clustering. What is this hierarchical clustering? Very simple. We need to use a keyword hclust. Hclust is the one that is called, that is going to help us out with getting hierarchical clustering enabled here. So you can see that here hclust, this is the hierarchical clustering. Now in that, if you see hc is equal to hierarchical clustering of distance iris sample, this is the data set, method equal to AVE. So what is this, sir? Very simple. We are using the distance here. The moment you call as distance, what is it all about? We know that it is all about Euclidean distance. You can see that there. It is Euclidean distance. And what is AVE? We have got multiple options available in terms of methods. It can be average, complete or minimal. It's linkage. It can be average linkage, minimal linkage or complete linkage. By default, the complete linkage is chosen if you have not specified it clearly. Now in this case, I have specified it as average. Now what do? We need to now plot it. How do we plot it? Very simple. When we plot it, you get the dendrogram clearly visible for you, and let's have the plotting done. Plot of HC, HAG equal to -1, label iris species of IDX. So when I select and when I run, it is going to be very interesting. You will get the plot right in front of you. and the cluster dendrogram is available for you. That's it. So what we have done, we have created the clear hierarchical cluster diagram for you, but this is not visible for you, right? So let's click zoom. The moment you click zoom, you can understand that Setosa is a cluster, Virginica is a cluster, versicolor is a cluster, and the dendrogram is finally provided to you in a very visible, clear way. So this is how we can use the hierarchical clustering for the identified data set, which is nothing but the iris data set. What did I do? Very simple. I used hclust, I used distance, and distance by nature it means that we go with Euclidean distance, and I passed the name of the data set, which is nothing but the iris sample, and I used average linkage method. It can be complete, it can be average, it can be anything of your choice, and then I go with the plot. That's it. It's very simple, and we have completed it. Now what is the next step? Better the visualizations, better the understanding would be, isn't it? We need to have real good visualization. So what are we going to do? We are going to go with more better visualization techniques, and I'm going to do that right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the next level, where you could see I have got this thing as 3:4. So what is that? It's very simple. I'm going to make the sampling with 3:4, and I am plotting the clusters right now. Now again I'm using hierarchical clusters only, but what I use is 3:4 for sampling. So once I run it, you could see that. Let me clear this and let me run it again, so that you'll be able to understand that this is the output that we are getting. So once I run it, you could get that. Now this is also very clumsy, because we have got a lot of data, because we have got a lot of points here. It is very clumsy, and it might not be easy for anybody to understand or to infer anything out of it. So what do? Very simple. It's better to make it a table and then to get a clear view about it. So what do we do here? Very simple. In the previous method, in the previous attempt here, I specified the method as average, but here I did not specify the method. Instead, when I do not specify it, it becomes the complete. So I told you this already. There are three types of linkages available. It can be complete, average, or minimal, and when I do not specify it, it becomes complete. Now what do? Very simple. The output that we have seen is not really the one that I wanted. I cannot understand anything out of it. So what do? Let's cut the tree. There is a method called as cut tree, and I'm going to cut it into three species. I'm going to cut it into three clusters, and then I'm going to present it as a table. So you can see that here I'm not joking, it's real. I'm going to cut the tree into three clusters, and that's what is presented here. So let's run it and let's see how exactly it works. You can see that here the cluster cut has worked. Three clusters are there. Setosa 50. Versicolor, you can see that in the cluster 1, you can see that Setosa has come. In this, if you see, versicolor is 21 and Virginica is 50, but here you can see that there is a lot of mistakes. So 21, 29 has gone into the versicolor. So the versicolor has gone into both cluster 2 and cluster 3, which might not be really right. So we need to really work on the improvement of the results in terms of reduced errors. So this is erroneous. So we need to look into it. How do we do it? Very simple. I'm going to go ahead with another type of linkages here. So it is nothing but the average linkage. Let me clear the screen so that we can clearly work on the rest of the stuff. So you can see that we have got options available here to clear everything. This will remove everything out here. Now it looks fresh. Well, now we are getting into the next level, where I am going to go with average linkage scheme again with 3:4 as the sample, and iris data set is taken into picture. Now I am running it. Now you got the output here. I already explained you this. Now what am I going to do? I am going to do a cluster cut. Let's see if this is going to get us improved results, because last time we did not go with average, and you can see that in the document that I have readied. Last time it was not average, instead it was complete linkage. So we went for complete linkage. This time we go with average. So we will see if the results are really improved. And yes, we can see the results out here in the table form. 1, 2, 3. You can see that here. This time it is 45.5 and 49.1. So it's all proper now. Though there is an error, though there is a probability of getting error here, it is not as big as the last time. So you can see that only one has gone out of this, and this is 5. So we can try it out. This is just a method where you can really get to know that where you have errors or where you get less errors. Now it's very important for us to understand the visualization methods. There are multiple visualization methods that are available, and really I'm telling you, this R tool and even RapidMiner, they are really very good and very rich in terms of providing you a very rich view. A really very rich view is what we get. So I'm going to get you a visualization inputs through this next 5 minutes of the discussion. library of ggplot2. We have something called as ggplot2, and if it is not already installed in your machine, you may have to go to tools and install packages. If you search for ggplot, you get ggplot2 available here. Select it and install it. If you have already installed it, well, no problem. When you run it, you will not get any error, and that's it. You make it very simple there. If you have got an error like I cannot find out what is ggplot, you need to go ahead to tools, identify the real package, and then you need to install it. So ggplot is something very recent. Earlier it was ggplot, and now it is ggplot2. So that's why it is 2 here. Earlier versions, if you have, you may have to go with ggplot. Well, now I am going to use the head and data, where I can get real nice content available here. You can see that here, where the data set in the package datasets is also clearly displayed alongside that, and I get the head content, which means the sepal length, sepal width, petal width, species. All these are displayed. This is just for you to realize what are all the kind of visualization techniques that we have, and that's what I have done now. Now, the next level is very simple, where we are going to get scatter plotting as part of this entire learning. I am going to go with ggplot plus scatter plotting. How do you do that? Very simple. We can do that with ggplot, data equal to iris. AS is nothing but aesthetics, x is sepal length, y is sepal width, plus geometric points. So what am I going to do? Very simple. Let's run and see. We get the scatter plot very clearly displayed out here, and this is very easy for anybody to visualize. This gives you a clear visualization, as in where are the data points available. Well, now what I am going to do is I am going to make the points a little bigger. The black dots are going to be made bigger, and that's it. We got it. How did we make it? Very simple. In the geometric point, I mentioned size as 3. When I do that, I get the size increased. Rest all things remain the same. The data is iris, the aesthetics is x of x is assigned with sepal length, y is assigned with sepal width, and that's it. We just got the size bigger, the dot size bigger. Now, can we go ahead with little more presentation there, little more visualization there? Yes, we can make it a little colorful, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Data is iris, aesthetics is x is sepal length, y is sepal width, color equal to species. So I am specifying that I need color for species, and the size remains 3. Can we see how exactly it runs? It works. You can see that here. So Setosa, versicolor, virginica, and they 3 are given with 3 different colors, and you could see that very clearly out here. And this is simple now. It's 3 colors are allocated to it: green for versicolor, virginica with blue. Likewise, it is allocated, and that's all. It's very simple. Now, what more is left out? We have got only one more learning left out in this. I'm going to make it a little more interesting. How do we do it? Very simple. Here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have shape for species. So I'm going to give different shapes for different species content out here. Instead of me telling, if I run that, that would be really useful for you. You can see that Setosa got a circle, versicolor got a triangle, virginica got a square. So that's how we got the entire display done in terms of 3 different symbols. So that's possible because we got shape included in the entire process. That's all. So I have given you an input about how do we go with hierarchical clustering, how do we go ahead with the display and the visualization content in this session. I hope you like the content. In case you have any questions, suggestion, inputs, please go ahead and type it in the comment section. If you like the channel, please subscribe and give a thumbs up. Thank you.